I'm not gonna cry.
You have to give negativity permission to be inside. And as long as you don't invite it in, you'll be okay and safe. And then you have like so many things tempting around you, like the vampire. So it was so deep. It was so deep. That's the reason I cried for like a whole hour now.
Might not necessarily be like something dark, but these two might have to get out of the way or be shelved for Blue Ivy to really be able to shine.
We'll be opening up for Beyoncé on the Formation Tour in Europe, so we're so excited.
Very excited.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so much fun.
After Sinners, I cried. It just reminds you so much of the industry.
It looks like the student just might be standing up to the master, and it's got the whole industry talking. Chloë Bailey, who's long been seen as Beyoncé's musical prodigy, is now catching headlines for allegedly calling out her mentor in what's being described as a full-blown fallout. For years, people saw Chloë as Beyoncé's chosen one, the one who would carry the Parkwood torch into the next generation. From her early days in Chloe X Halle to her solo debut, Beyoncé's hand was always visible behind the scenes, guiding, advising, and producing her image.
If you're signed to somebody's record label, right, or you are in business with somebody, that's part of what you assume or what you think, right? If I'm an artist and I sign to anybody, and I seen Jay-Z do it to his biggest artists, Beanie Siegel, to Rihanna, to Kanye, to Emil, he promoted his artists.
But somewhere along the line, things seem to have turned from mentorship to mayhem. And now fans think Chloe has finally had enough of being Beyoncé's project instead of her own artist. Let's keep it real. Chloe's come up was supposed to be a dream story. Beyoncé discovered Chloe X Halle after the sisters posted a viral YouTube cover of Pretty Hurts, and soon after they were signed to Parkwood Entertainment. The deal was huge. They got Beyoncé's direct mentorship, industry access, and a level of visibility that most artists only dream about.
After Sinners, I cried. Do you know why I cried? Yes or no? Or you're just like, Chloe, you cried because you're a crybaby. You're still me. So I think anyone who, it just reminds you so much of the industry, right? And it's like, you could have a gift like he did with his guitar, and like they said, when he's singing, he's honoring his ancestors and uplifting and all of that, but then it also attracts the not good. So it's like, in order for him to be successful, the vampires were telling him he has to sell out so that he could be, that he could live forever and his music could live forever. And it's exactly like things that I see and go through every day. And that's why I just like broke down crying, because it was showing like the people who decided not to go to the other side, they were in there fighting for their lives, they were in there going through it, while the ones who did give in, they were outside celebrating and having a good time and got things quicker and things like that. So the reason why Sinners resonated with me so much is because it's something that you see every day, and no matter how hard you work, no matter how good of a person that you are, no matter how talented you are, sometimes that's not enough to get you places that you need to be. And that's why Sinners, like, I was crying right after, because I feel like anyone in the industry could really resonate with it.
For years, they played the role perfectly. Loyal protégés, always showing respect, always giving credit to their queen. But once Chloe went solo, something in that dynamic shifted, and it wasn't subtle. Fans started noticing how she was moving differently, experimenting with a more daring image, and speaking her mind more openly. And then the rumors started flying. Whispers that Beyoncé wasn't happy with the direction Chloe was taking, especially with her more risque performances and bold statements. When Chloe dropped her debut album In Pieces, fans noticed something off. The rollout felt disconnected from Beyoncé's usual polished touch. Some insiders even claimed Beyoncé didn't fully back the project the way she had supported Chloe X Halle's earlier work. The album had heart, but it didn't get the push everyone expected. Critics and fans started asking, where was Beyoncé during all this? Why wasn't she promoting her protégé's first solo project like she once did? Social media went wild, with some users claiming that Beyoncé had distanced herself from Chloe, while others said Chloe was trying to break free from her mentor's shadow.
Like you see, the kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing. They don't rap yet, and they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming.
And that's when things really got messy. Chloë started liking posts that fans interpreted as shade toward her mentor. There were even claims that during a recent live, Chloë made subtle remarks about being controlled creatively and wanting to tell her own story without someone else's filter. That was all fans needed to start connecting dots. The internet lit up with theories about a behind-the-scenes clash between Chloë and Beyoncé, with some saying Chloë was tired of being treated like a side project while Beyoncé focused on other ventures. One fan even posted, "You can tell Chloë's frustrated. She's been loyal for years, but Parkwood doesn't push her like they used to." Another said, "She's not a kid anymore, she's an artist. Beyoncé needs to let her fly."
Someone restricted this again. Hating. You know what? Anytime I realize or come across someone hating, I'm like, damn, I'm really that great? Someone like little old me, you gonna hate on? Thank you there for that love. So anytime you have a hater, or anytime you know people trying to stop you or anything like that, just know that just doubles down on how great you are. Because if you weren't anything special, no one would be putting in all this energy to stop.
Why does 13-year-old Blue Ivy look like she's 25? No one realizes that she has never been allowed to have a real childhood like Rumi. When Blue Ivy recently performed on stage with her mother Beyoncé during the Cowboy Carter tour, she frequently changed her looks. At only 13 years old, she wore 5 sets of high-end, custom-made outfits in one night of the premiere. Tasseled leather pants, a corset, and sequined gloves. All these were the treatments that celebrities received.
Industry insiders also added fuel to the fire, claiming that Beyoncé's management style at Parkwood is demanding and highly selective. Several artists have allegedly felt boxed in by her perfectionist approach. And while that might work for her brand, it can be suffocating for someone trying to build their own lane. And it seems like Chloë, who's always been outspoken and experimental, might be done playing it safe. Sources close to her reportedly said that Chloë feels she's not being taken seriously as a solo act, that every move she makes is measured against Beyoncé's legacy instead of being appreciated for what it is. And honestly, who could blame her? Being mentored by the biggest artist in the world is a blessing and a curse, because you're always in her shadow. Even the fans are split right down the middle. Some believe Chloë should stay loyal and quiet, arguing that Beyoncé gave her everything. Others think it's time for Chloë to speak her truth, even if it means ruffling feathers. One viral tweet read, "Beyoncé taught her how to shine, but now she's trying to dim her light." Another added, "They always want you to stay grateful, even when you outgrow the cage." And those comments hit hard because they reflect a real tension that's been bubbling beneath the surface for years. From what's being said, this isn't just a one-time outburst. It's a long buildup of frustration, creative conflict, and personal independence finally spilling over for the world to see. Now, as this alleged feud explodes across social media, the world's watching every move these two make, and it's getting ugly fast. Chloë's recent interviews and online posts have fans convinced she's no longer afraid to separate her brand from Beyoncé's shadow. She's been hinting at taking more control, talking about being misunderstood, and emphasizing that she's not just a product of anyone's machine. That's strong language, especially considering how much Beyoncé's influence shaped her career, but it's also powerful. It shows that Chloë might be done living under someone else's spotlight. Behind the scenes, word is that tensions hit their peak during discussions about creative direction. Sources allege that Chloë wanted to push for more personal, raw music that reflected her life, while Beyoncé's camp preferred a more calculated image that aligned with Parkwood's branding. One insider supposedly said Chloë was tired of being told what to do, how to move, and who to be. She wanted freedom, but freedom doesn't always fit into Beyoncé's system. That quote made the rounds fast, and fans couldn't help but side-eye Beyoncé for possibly holding her protégé back. Meanwhile, Beyoncé's silence has only made things more intense. She hasn't addressed the rumors, hasn't posted about Chloë, and hasn't been seen supporting her projects lately. That's unusual, especially since Beyoncé is known for subtly endorsing her protégés online when she wants to. The lack of acknowledgement feels like a cold shoulder, and people are noticing. Some fans think Beyoncé's just protecting her peace, but others believe she's quietly cutting ties. The optics aren't good either. Parkwood's social accounts have reportedly been focusing on other projects, and Chloë's name is barely mentioned anymore. That's wild, considering she was once the label's crown jewel. Adding to the drama, industry gossip pages started circulating claims that Beyoncé felt betrayed by Chloë's recent behavior, especially after fans noticed her performing songs and posting captions that seemed to reference breaking chains and speaking up for herself. Whether those are intentional digs or not, fans took them as shots fired. and the internet ran with it. TikTok, X, and Instagram were filled with edits of mentor versus protege moments, painting the fallout like a modern-day power struggle. Some even compared it to how past proteges eventually drifted from their mentors, saying, "Every queen faces rebellion. This is Beyoncé's turn." Still, Chloe's supporters are standing strong behind her. They're praising her for evolving and refusing to be boxed in, saying she's finally claiming her identity in an industry that loves to control young women. Many point out that Beyoncé herself had to fight her own battles for creative freedom in Destiny's Child, and now the same struggle might be repeating, just from the other side of the table. It's ironic, and fans aren't missing that connection. One tweet summed it up perfectly. Beyoncé taught her how to be powerful. She just didn't expect her to use that power against her. Now the big question is, where does this leave their relationship? Some insiders claim there's still hope for reconciliation, but others say the damage might already be done. Chloe's pushing forward with new music, new visuals, and a new image, one that feels completely separate from Parkwood's influence. And if that's true, she might be fully cutting the cord. On the other hand, Beyoncé's camp is keeping things tight-lipped. No statements, no denials, no confirmation. It's that silence that makes it even more mysterious, because when Beyoncé doesn't say anything, it usually means something is going on behind the curtain. At this point, the mentorship that once looked like a fairy tale might have turned into a full-blown fallout. Whether it's about creative control, image, or independence, it's clear that Chloe's no longer content being the student. She wants to be seen as the star she knows she is, even if that means going toe-to-toe with the woman who helped build her up. And with fans and industry insiders split on who's right, one thing's for sure, this drama isn't going away anytime soon. The teacher and the student might just be heading for their biggest test yet, and the world is watching every move.